Hey everyone, I'm Becky,
And I'm Sarah.
and we're doing Bickering Book Reviews. Today we're talking about The Weight of Blood by Tiffany D. Jackson, which I just got the book out of my library.
Yeah.
Right?
Same.
Um, Nothing fancy there. So this book is a takeoff of the Carrie story. So Maddie lives in this very small town in Georgia, and she lives with her very, very strict father, who has very strong feelings about aspects of people in society. And Maddie is half African American, but she can pass. And so her father has always made her present as somebody who is Caucasian. Something happens and it comes out in school that she is African American or half African American. And the kids are horrible and bully her. And there's a video of it and people see it. And so this town is kind of under a microscope because it turns out that there's a lot of Southern segregation things still in place, like whistles to tell you to be home before dark and be out of the white side of town, or segregated proms. And so they decide to make it look like they weren't racist to have a desegregated prom. And if you've seen Carrie, you can kind of see where it goes from there.
Yeah. It is very much Carrie.
It's Carrie.
But I mean, Jackson acknowledges that. Like, it's not like she's hiding. You know what I mean? Like,
And
it's
I appreciate, I'm okay with that because she acknowledged it. And to be
yeah.
quite honest, everything I've read, like Stephen King's tweets and like things he has said, I think that he would be okay with it. Since she acknowledged that it was based off of his idea, I think he would be cool with how she updated it.
Plus, yeah, it's updated and it's transformed in a unique, solid, awesome way. Like, it was very I enjoyed it. I actually really enjoyed it. I listened to I went from ebook to audiobook. The audiobook was phenomenal. Each character has a different voice, so you're cycling through different voices, which was really kind of made the book come alive, but also reading it was just as pleasurable of an experience. I think adding the racial aspects to it was definitely something that could have should have been done in the past, but I'm glad that she did it now. I always forget how much I enjoy Tiffany Jackson's books. And then I come back to it, I'm like, oh, this is fabulous. Why didn't I read it as soon as it came out? Like, why didn't I read it sooner? I always regret not reading it sooner because I always really enjoy them.
When I feel like the updates, like you said, like it made it fresher, but it wasn't like I'm shoehorning in things like we're going to include a podcast and we're going to include news updates and all that stuff, but it felt very organic. It felt like part of the story. It wasn't like I'm just trying to fill it with fluff. And there were like a couple like relationship building that I was like, well, that happened like really fast. But then in retrospect, I'm like, Maddie had powers, so maybe that was part of that too.
I, I actually, so we kind of talked about the romance aspect of this book. And for you, it felt very like forced and not
It
great.
felt rushed.
But I wondered if it was part of her supernatural
That's what
powers.
I thought after, like actually just like about 20 minutes ago. I'm like, I wonder if that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I wondered if like I kind of chalked it up a little bit of that. Like, you kind of had to like partially I had to kind of accept it for what it was, but partially I wondered if part of it was the magical elements of it.
Yeah.
No, it was
Um,
really good. I was really invested. I got through this book really quickly because I was just so interested in the story.
well, and I think the format and the story will find a lot of teen readers. Like we've had a lot of teen books lately that I'm like, teens aren't going to want to read this, but I think teens will read it. And I mean, it is a big book and it's got a lot of, and like, small print and all that stuff, but I think like the right reluctant reader would enjoy this because of the
Yeah,
horror aspect and the formatting.
I can agree with that. And I actually think you could even give it to a younger teens could read this because it's not like there was any like there's a lot of blood, guts, and gore. Um, but as far as like sex and swearing, not so much.
And to be quite honest, like my kids who the parents are like, oh, we have to be careful what we read in the teen room, do let them read Stephen King. So I'm like, so do you have anything else?
No, like, cause I was like picking apart the book, like trying to see, like, there was one aspect where she's like reading this journal, and I'm like, does she really need to read this journal? And then I really kind of thought about it, and I'm like, no, I can see like why it needs to stay. I maybe the journal aspect I would have like expanded, but then you don't really need to because that would expand the book, and I don't necessarily need that was needed. So I think it's pretty solid the way it was.
Okay, so we should just rate it. Our rating system starts at the top with 5 unicorns, but at 2 unicorns. If we don't like it, it's a horse.
I feel like I came into this video thinking I was going to give it 4, but like, I don't know. I'm going back between a 4 and a 5 because, like, of all the things I'm talking about, like, I can't really think of anything that didn't work. Like, that, like, when you really think about it, didn't work and that I would change. And I would recommend this to somebody. So I think I'm going to have to give it a 5.
I'm at a 4. Like, it was good. I think it's recommendable, but I'm not quite like, it was amazing.
I think I would give this to like my friends and stuff. Like I would definitely encourage them to read it. So I think yeah, I'm good with where I'm at.
So that is where we are on Weight of Blood, and we'll see you around.
Yeah.
Bye.